like us. Into our program.
Number one. What?
What?
First place.
First place. I'm not
Number
talking
one.
about fantasy football, you fool. After 1 week? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Like I
That's what
said-
you open with?
I'm number one.
Oh, my God. He
What-
opens
what-
with,
what did I
I have 1 win, and I'm leading the league.
Someone's feeling really confident after 1 week.
Yeah, no
right?
shit. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I thought I was going to win. I had
Number
you
one
for a
points,
short
too.
time, and then your ass,
What did
two
I
of your
say?
players, man. Just
I said my 2 top picks.
Oh,
They came
whatever.
through, man.
It's all
Man.
luck,
It is completely
It is.
solid all luck.
except for mine.
Except for yours, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy football officially started. Very nice.
The Astro Pansies. I'm allowed to say that, right? It's the name of our league
Think so.
through Yahoo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. We'll just keep giving out more information.
Oh, they're going to find out eventually.
I know. I'm just
Right.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So the Batwings took first place over the other 12 teams. Not just
barely first place.
well, it was first place is
Well,
first
place is first place, but you
I
know,
roll.
he's like, I won by 100 points. And that
Yeah,
was like by
really.
2 points.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Paul, you had 116, right?
I did. That's impressive for a first week.
Yeah.
But you know what sucks? You actually don't want to win in the first week.
Oh,
You know why?
no.
Because in the first 2 weeks
Yeah.
is when the best pickups are.
Yeah. Well, that's
People
true.
you didn't know that had a starting role. People you didn't know were freaking phenoms.
When can we start picking? Is it tonight or was it midnight?
Well, you're in
today?
the bottom half. You should have done it at midnight last night.
No,
Yes.
Tonight, right?
Wednesday.
No.
Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday.
Oh, today is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, so midnight was Wednesday.
Yeah.
You should have made a pickup today already.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll look afterwards or during the show here.
Yeah, that's
It's a
priorities.
good time to do it. Right during our
Priorities.
show.
I would actually I'd walk away right now. I just drop the mic, drop the headset,
so there
walk away.
were some surprises this weekend. We'll start with. I mean, I don't know that many of them, but they're New Orleans for one. They're that
Oh, wow.
Winston dude.
5
and-
touchdowns.
I tell you what,
Yeah, but did
and
you
their
see his
tight
line?
end?
Did you see his line?
No.
10 for 14. 5 touchdown passes.
so they were either all long or really short ones.
Really short.
Yeah.
He was 10 for 14 with 5 touchdowns.
Hold on.
What was his yardage?
10 for 14 throws.
Yes, he had 14 attempts, made 10 of them, and of those 10 completions, 5 were touchdowns.
So they had a hell of a running game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Is that
well,
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
God, his bourbon is just.
It's sitting in my gut.
It's vicious, huh? All right, well let's get it out there. What is it?
It is called
Hickory Hill.
Hickory Hill Single Barrel Cask Strength. This is off of the Total Wine website. So it says, it's a Texas wine, or I'm
Ah.
sorry, bourbon,
It is a bourbon.
aged for at least 16 months. So you were close when you said aged 2
Dang,
months.
I was kidding around. 16 months is nothing.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Um,
probably why it's so bad.
Juwan Johnson. That's the name of the tight end.
Oh,
Right.
That makes that
He had 2
Hickory
of
Hill.
the 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's that's
It's
all right.
distilled with the finest ingredients to create a smooth, full bourbon character, rich and complex, with flavors of dough, caramel, and toast, followed by a hint of vanilla. Enjoyed.
It doesn't say dough. Where do you see dough?
That's
You
what-
added dough.
dough
All right,
is
so
what I
for
taste.
for folks that don't know or haven't listened to our podcast, actually for some of the folks that have listened to the podcast a lot, we like almost all the bourbons, even the rye ones. But there's this one particular taste that we don't enjoy,
Okay.
and we call it. It's essentially a doughy taste. It's really the only thing I can think of. It's a very doughy. I
Like
don't know if it's
raw
tobacco. It's just
Well, there was one bourbon that you guys were complaining tasting of grass or something like that.
that was a
that was
completely.
different.
and I thought that was
a
good.
wheat. That was a wheat whiskey.
You didn't
But,
try
so that wasn't dough.
You did not.
Correct.
No,
Okay,
you didn't
okay.
try that one. I think you were.
You
I
weren't
like
having
here.
some kind of surgery.
That
or
was our
something.
tier 1. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
He's one supposed to know about that. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah.
Yeah, it was Oregon Spirit,
Oregon
and it
Spirit.
was a weeded whiskey, and because the buzz when we started doing this was that the weeded whiskeys, the higher the wheat content for me and for us, I think the easier it was kind of to get into the bourbon. It just had a lighter
Yeah.
taste. It
It's
wasn't as
smoother, right?
stringent.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a tipping point though. when you put too much wheat in there or 100%
Yeah.
wheat,
Yeah. Well,
it changes.
Yeah, but if you guys are saying the Oregon Spirit, I wasn't referencing that one. I was referencing one of the very first wheats that you guys were like, wow, this is very grassy or something. I don't know what exactly, tastes like bread. You guys said it tasted like bread.
There's that giant 95.
yeah, the Giant 95 was like the doughiest I have
Okay,
ever
well
tasted
then I did like that bourbon.
You said it tastes like Life cereal.
Yes, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh.
Tastes like chewing on a hunk of raw dough.
Wow. Okay, so I was right then. So
This
it
is an acquired taste for
it's
sure.
a dough thing.
Now, mind you, this Hickory Hill Cask Strength, it does taste doughy, but I got to learn to have an appreciation for it. So
It's 113 proof, man.
it's hot.
It's
Yeah.
hot.
It's hot, and it's not horrible.
It's not
not.
horrible.
It's
It isn't
for the
horrible.
doughy ones. It's at the top of the dough bourbons. But I still like. I think we need to go back and revisit the Oregon Spirit Wheated now that we've
Now that
kind of
we're
experienced
talking about it. Yeah.
kind of experienced it more. Maybe we
So
would enjoy it.
I'm going to make a recommendation.
All right, go.
I'm going to recommend we continue to do our Friday pickups as far as the bourbons, but I
Okay.
think we need to collect the bourbon without opening them, and we need to do exactly what you said and revisit systematically all the bourbons that we have, and we do another round
Take notes.
and take notes on each one. Now that we're not experts, we're not
Right.
bourbon sommeliers or whatever we call it.
The
but-
whiskey sommelier.
But we're at a point now where we can definitely start tasting some differences in some of this stuff. Where we can pound down a 90 proof bourbon and be like, yeah, what about it? We could taste
So
it.
let's do the math here. So we go through we sample 2 bourbons once a week. We can go through a year. We could go a full year sampling what we have.
So
and
we have
not buy
probably-
another one.
No, but we still need to continue buying them.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you perspective on how many bourbons we have.
Well, I mean, it's either that perspective or that maybe we're losers.
Well,
or
no,
that maybe our wives don't need to
absolutely-
listen to this and know how much we are actually purchasing in bourbon.
no question. All of that is true.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that's how many we have that we could go through.
So
That's
we
what I would
probably have
recommend.
we probably have 80 at this point.
Oh, so maybe not a full year.
But I've lost count again. I counted this 2 or 3 months ago, made that spreadsheet, and then we've purchased at least 15 or 20 more since then.
Yeah. No, so maybe. Anyway, I think that's a good idea because the problem is we can get lost in it. I mean, that's kind of what's happening.
Because at
we're
this
trying
point-
them, and there's like, oh, it's good, it's kind of bad, or
Because
it's
I would like to line up the doughy ones we're talking about, and I
Right.
want to retaste them. Like I'd like to line up like the top 4 doughy ones, for example,
right.
and maybe not do a whole shot, maybe do a sampling of it.
Yeah.
Which is really what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be fucking getting loaded.
Well, this
here.
is about what you're supposed to have when you when you're sipping on a bourbon. at
yeah,
night,
when you're sipping on
this.
a bourbon,
But if
but
you're just tasting, then yes, you want a little-
we're supposed to be tasting, not getting hammered. We well, whatever. So
So we also talked about doing like a tournament, right?
a tournament.
Right, where we had all the bourbons all lined up, and then
like
and then-
all 80
yeah, I mean, and we work our way up to what we consider number one
at once
I'm picturing all these bourbons going down a runway.
in one night. Yeah,
in one night.
no, not really
This
one
is
night.
Lime Banded, June 2015.
And I like
He's an
snorkeling.
Aries.
No, I wasn't being weird about it like that.
Oh, well,
I was just thinking, if that's the way we can like stack them up against each other.
Well, I think we have to rate them 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 or whatever, and then we say, okay, these are all our 5s, the highest ranked.
yeah.
Let's put these up again.
Yeah,
Let's say there's 6 of them.
exactly.
There's
All right,
6
well, let's
fives.
not.
That
let's,
is
let's not
exactly
beat
what I'm
this up
thinking.
too much, but we do need to revisit that and set this
That'd be
program
fun.
up. We need to make a mental note to do that.
All right. Yeah, I'm all for
All right.
going back and trying some more.
So this cask strength, the Hickory Hill, where is it from?
It says Texas.
So it's Texas bourbon.
It is a Texas
small
bourbon.
batch, and it is hot. It's rich caramel, floral toast complex, and
I don't see dough in there.
yeah, but maybe the AKA complex. Maybe that's what that is.
Oh, complex is
They're
dough.
calling it something different.
Oh,
They
okay.
just don't want to put dough.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't.
It has that taste. Paul thinks it's like Life cereal.
Well, not this one.
Cheerios.
Not this one. The previous doughy one, you guys were like, "Oh my god!" Oh
I think that was our first dough.
and I was like, "Oh, it tastes like life cereal."
that was our first dough.
Yeah, it was a little bit
experience.
of a shock.
You had to chew on it.
I was like, "Wow, Mikey likes it."
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to go to some of these. That you sent that. I don't have the email anymore, but you sent the email. We go to Vegas, fly down there. We sample bourbons
Oh
from
yeah,
35.
what was the deal with that? It was a
100
particular distillery. No.
No.
It was a
It was a bourbon event.
event with like
Yeah.
30 different.
130.
Oh,
No,
damn.
no, it was only 30.
It was
No, I
130.
think he's right.
35.
It was 130.
Really?
Yes. 130 distilleries were going to be there.
We could go there and they'd be like, "You guys are dudes like us? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. We will sponsor you. We have like 130 sponsors.
That's
Oh, dude, we'll set up a
actually,
portable. We'll set
actually,
up-
from a business perspective, it would be really wise. to
we'll,
go
we'll
out
do
there.
a portable
And we
podcast
should have
right
cards.
there.
We could hand out cards to these guys and be like, "We're dudes like us, and we sample bourbons every week."
Yeah, well,
I'm being serious, actually.
that would. Damn it! When is this event?
It's in October.
Fuck.
When? Like which week?
Mid October, I think.
Ooh, that's not good. October 9th, probably. Which
No,
is,
it's October 13th.
I think it's the 13th. It's in the middle of the week, I think.
oh,
Yeah, it's like a Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that's when it is.
Yeah,
I would do it.
put in Las Vegas.
So our trip to Vegas, we looked up. Prices would be under $100. I mean, they're all over the place, but we can get under $100 round trip. All right. So you can either go for the 2 days or the 2 nights, basically 2 days, 2 nights, or the 2 days, 1 night.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Did I say that right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So because on 1 night you have a dinner, and that would cost $300.
I would want to do more than one night, but I guess
Yeah,
that's just it.
you'd have to do 2 nights, maybe 3 nights, because
But
one
it's
night's
limited.
dinner, 2.
Only 45 people could sign up for the
VIP.
The VIP. Well, there's 2 levels. So the top VIP is a $300 ticket. All right, $300. It includes 2 nights. The first night is the dinner, and the second night is you get to join in on the festivities about an hour earlier.
Correct.
And there's a little section there.
why don't we call them and tell them, "Hey, listen, we're dudes like us. Why don't you comp us?"
Right.
Yeah, that's not happening.
We're
Oh.
whales.
We're what?
Whales.
We're whales.
Oh, is that what they call the big heavy
Whales?
hitters in
Yes.
Vegas?
The big spenders, the big hitters are called whales.
Are they really?
Yes.
I've never heard that
I
before.
want to be a blue whale.
It's by Total Wine.
Dear,
Look
that's
up
a big one.
Total Wine.
Jeff's going to be a sperm whale.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
You'll be a porpoise. All right,
Yeah.
well,
That's
another
that little,
thing. We
That's
can make
that
them
little
up.
Norwegian whale.
Well, we don't have much time. We got less than a month to procure those tickets and to get all that stuff set up.
We'd have to find that email again.
I've got it.
All right.
I've
All right,
got it.
well,
I just got to
anyway.
dig into it.
Yeah, we can promote the event. All right.
All right,
So
well,
that's our bourbon. We are generally underwhelmed. That's
well,
okay.
yes.
We'll just leave it there.
I'm
We're
letting it
generally
rest.
underwhelmed.
so let's jump back on a little bit of the football.
All right.
So
About you being number one.
pardon?
About you being number one.
Well, no. I mean, but we can. You want to talk about that?
Not really.
All right. So, so as far as the top 5 surprises, we'll
Okay.
say, the San Francisco running back, Elijah Mitchell.
See, that's what I'm saying. You could have picked him up. I guarantee
Yeah.
somebody picked him up today.
Yeah, they did. The Dreams did.
Oh, good. Linda.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And
That was a smart pickup.
so Elijah, I don't know.
They have Nick Chubb,
He did well.
so
uh,
I'm pleased with
yeah,
that.
you needed that. There's also the Baltimore running back. I don't know what his name
Yeah,
is,
he
but
did
he did
well.
well.
He did.
He did well. So you may want to pick him up as your
So
replacement.
hold on. Is Elijah Mitchell the temporary starter? Because
He's taking over.
Well, Mostert hasn't come back yet.
No,
or
he's-
Mostert or whatever his name
He's
is.
going to be taking over right now.
I
So
don't-
as of right now, he's taking over.
Okay, but for how many weeks?
Well, I don't know.
There is he, Raheem Mostert.
Well,
Or
there's only
Mostert.
It's
before this
Mostert.
weekend.
Mostert.
Before this weekend, the stats detail that only 0.7, less than 1% of all teams that play fantasy football did.
Had him.
Yeah, 0.7. So he's available.
Had him on their rosters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah,
I got
so-
you. I got you.
He
The
only
next
had
one,
he only had 100 yards.
yeah, he had 2 touchdowns.
So
Yeah, he was Well, he's a monster though. Well,
I don't know.
he had to earn those 100 yards. Is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So
good.
Zach Pascal is the next one. Zach Pascal, and
I've heard of him. He's a wide receiver for the Colts.
Zach Pascal. Pull him up. Where are we at here? Well, he
was an emerging guy last year.
So he.
But you're right. He wasn't very high on the draft board, was he?
Less than 2.4% of the folks drafted him. So
Yeah.
he was readily available.
Okay.
Zach Pascal, yeah. So
There
he
he
is the
is.
wide receiver for the
Colts.
Colts.
Okay.
And then the third one down the list, well, of course, the New Orleans. So you got two from New Orleans. You got Juwan Johnson, which is the tight end, scored
Tight
2
end.
touchdowns,
Okay.
and James Winston.
Well, that's a quarterback.
Yeah, he's the quarterback that came out of nowhere. He reminds me of a Cordell Stewart. He used to
Cordell
play for-
Stewart.
Remember him?
Or is it Bubby Brister?
No.
I'm a little embarrassed to ask this question. Did Drew Brees retire, or is he?
Yes, he
Yes.
retired.
He's done.
He's done. He's now
Done. So I thought for sure that
pundit.
Hill
Oh, he didn't want to take the jab.
Taysom.
did not want the quarterback, the starting quarterback job.
No,
The backup for Drew
I said
Brees.
jab, the vaccine. He was like, if I can't, he said, I'm not taking the vaccine, so I might as well quit.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. Anyway, yeah. So so obviously Winston beat out Hill. He was. You remember last year, Drew Brees, and every once in a while the white quarterback would take over and he would.
Oh, he's a beast. He's
He-
supposedly the strongest guy.
Yeah,
on
he's a
the
super
team.
beast, and
Yeah.
he would line when he wasn't playing quarterback, he would be in the lineup as like a tight end or something. And then when Drew Brees took a breather for some reason, he would play quarterback.
Yeah.
And then everybody was excited about him. He was like the fun option, And then it sounds like Winston beat him out. and
Jameis Winston. He's got an interesting first name. It's JAM.
James is
Yeah,
James is.
JAMEIS.
right.
James is
Jamie
Winston.
Yeah. Well, good for him because he struggled at Tampa Bay.
And,
He did. He had
and
a bad-
Juwan Johnson, the tight end. The fifth one is Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell.
Never heard of him.
He was 3.5% of the
Picked up.
unpicked. Yeah, Kenneth
On rosters.
Gainwell.
Who is this guy? He is a Eagles.
Yeah,
Eagles?
who's surprised that the Eagles won
He's a running back
as well big
for the
as they
Eagles.
did.
Okay.
For some reason, it's not.
He
The
only
stats
ran
are.
37 yards.
Was that this past one? No, that was from 1999. No, he's born then. What is this? Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull this up now. God
Yeah.
bless.
So
This one doesn't seem like really earth
No.
shattering.
He's solid.
well, he's 5'9", 200 pounds. That's
Oh, there
pretty
he is.
solid.
He had 337 yards and 4 touchdowns on Sunday.
What?
Is that accurate?
I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
man?
334 yards, really, guys?
Well, you said it, jackass.
You guys.
He has
Okay.
37 total yards.
He sucks.
He has 1 TD.
Yeah, overrated.
Yeah, why would you pick him
Kenneth,
up?
hold on.
Who's telling you these are the top people?
Yeah. And you're in first place? Do you know
I know.
anything about fantasy football?
Dude. You go by name recognition.
All right,
that's
so
it.
he had nine.
I like their
fan
colors.
points.
That team has great colors. I'm going to pick that guy. Okay, well, we've lost interest, but thank you for sharing your.
No, he had one rushing touchdown,
Yes.
37 yards.
He had 9 carries for 37 yards with a 4.1 average, which is not that great.
So why would you pick him up?
I don't know. Maybe they're hoping that was so spectacular that he's going to take the starting spot. That's the problem. And then anybody who's a seasoned fantasy football player knows this. It's the curse. Teams are now going with a trio, right?
Mhm.
They're either going with 2 backs or 3 backs because they don't want to wear out a single back.
Well, look at what
No.
Dallas is doing with
And
Zeke.
it destroys you in fantasy football.
I think you need to relook at how you draft and say, is the running back where you need to go? It's team by team, though.
It
It
is.
used to be, in fact, you know what? It was always like the running back. I'll tell you what. I want to say I was one of the ones that started the trend with my very first pick.
Being a defensive back?
No, quarterback.
Kicker.
I made my first pick. I think it was like a number 12 or something like that. And I was like Aaron Williams,
Rogers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
Well,
because
why not pick a quarterback? They make you the most points sometimes.
They do.
Yeah.
What's the argument against
I
that?
mean, Mahomes. I mean, if Mahomes is putting up 30 points a game,
Yeah, but everyone's like,
What-
quarterback first
what
round.
running back do you know is going to put up 30 points a game?
That's what I mean. Why not pick the one you
Yeah,
know
I'm
is going
with
to
you.
get you the most points?
I'm
but,
with
but
you.
it's kind of frowned upon.
I guess the idea is you know
Everyone mocked me too. I could never forget the look on Barry's face when I picked it. He's like, oh,
so he looked like a ghoul.
He sounded like
Gollum.
Santa
Is
Claus.
it Halloween? What's-
Just want to reach across the table and slap his.
yeah, but he's the all-time everything,
Yeah, he is.
so you can't really dog
Still
him.
wanted to slap him though.
I know it's kind of fun to think about.
Repeatedly.
Anyway, I enjoy. So did you watch any games?
Yeah, I watched the Bengals.
Yeah, Mr. Burrow.
Mr. Burrow, he looked really good.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah, I
I-
watched
I
my
watched the-
Titans.
the
My
Black
Titans
Folk
looked
anthem.
fantastic.
The Titrans.
Yeah, they lost 38-13.
There was
How'd Julio Jones do?
He really made me mad.
you
You
had
want to know
like
why?
2 points, right?
Well, yeah, 2 points, but that's not why I was mad.
Well, he's
So we desperately, we were down 10-0, and we desperately we needed to start moving. Like it's time to kick it into gear, and it was a third down, and we had a brilliant play across the middle, and Julio Jones gets a personal foul because he's pushing and shoving the corner that's guarding him.
Oh,
Negates the first down, puts us back, 10 yards
right.
or 15 yards. We get nothing on the next play, and we punt. And from that point on, there was really no recovery to the game.
That was
And
with-
I'm not saying that moment blew the game, but dude, you guys know this. In football, momentum is everything.
It is.
These
yeah,
key
you gotta
plays.
maintain it.
Oh,
Let's
these
get the
key.
Cardinals, right?
Oh yeah, the Cardinals look damn good,
Yeah.
man. Wow, they made our defense look silly, and maybe our defense is silly, but it is supposedly improved since last year. So
Well, what about
supposedly.
the Cowboys? Who were we playing against?
you played Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Now Tampa Bay is supposed to be a good team, right?
They won,
won
the Super Bowl.
I'm thinking we did pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, it was a great game.
But during the
Excuse me.
year,
It was 31-29.
did Tampa Bay peak at the right time? Because they weren't like a 15-1 team, were they?
Oh no! I mean, remember his first game? He threw 4 picks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, is it just a matter of they peaked at the right time? Because that's what happens sometimes, right? You get to the playoffs, you're 9-7, and you get to the playoffs, you just peak at the right time and you win.
Well, shit just starts to gel.
No, and if Tom Brady gelled
Well, that's what I mean.
first year with the team, and he started gelling in week 10 or something, and they just freaking steamrolled from that point forward.
Yes. Yep.
So
But I was
and
impressed with
to me,
Dak.
that's all Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Yeah, but I was impressed with Dak.
In that game, yeah.
In that game, he did better than I thought. We'll see
Okay.
if it can
I was
maintain.
extremely disappointed with Zeke.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the game.
he's not.
It was a Thursday night, and I had other obligations.
Yeah, Zeke.
What kind of obligations do you have?
Church every Thursday night called Reengage. It's a marriage enhancement program.
He's talked about this like weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I don't like about Ezekiel Elliott's freaking pom poms he has
He's
on his head.
totally not interested. Moving on anyway.
He's very Ewokish.
Yeah, he looks like an Ewok.
He's kind of weird.
Very low center of gravity.
But I think that was a bad move.
Well, what were his stats on? Oh, there we go.
33 yards.
11 carries, 33 yards. Not good. An average of 3 yards a carry.
I think that was a mistake signing him to that ginormous contract.
Yeah. Which
'Cause
means
running
now
back-
he's got nothing to prove.
Well, but
They always have their best numbers in a contract year.
But the lifespan of a running back is short.
It is 5 years.
Remember?
Well, I mean, if he's going to continue to play like, first of all, I think his game's going to open up. All right, so we played against a really tough first game, Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl. Who's our next one?
Well, I think that's why they didn't run it as much because their defense was so.
Well, they couldn't.
So
They
strong.
couldn't run it. They stopped everything.
I don't think they really tried. When they did try, they didn't get anywhere. Play the Texas. Oh, that's preseason.
Preseason.
The Chargers.
Well, I'm not necessarily
Chargers aren't bad.
commentating the whole football scene. I'm a Cowboy fan, so yeah, I'm gonna enjoy watching the Cowboys play. I'm not gonna get into even Monday Night Football. I didn't even realize Monday Night Football was on until the overtime, and I got a notification on the fantasy football.
Yeah.
Something about I just happened to hear my phone go off. I said, "What is that?" And it was overtime, so I turned it over onto the Monday Night Football game. In fact, I don't even remember who was playing.
The Ravens.
And
Las Vegas.
Raiders.
Yeah. You see that? You like that new stadium they got?
In Vegas, they
Yeah.
play at home.
Yeah,
I've seen it from a distance.
Looks like a football field.
Oh, so is it worth $1 trillion that they spent on it?
No kidding.
It's
I
pretty,
don't know.
Pretty typical.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the part I watched, I didn't see too much of the stadium. I saw the outside where it just looks like a dome, right?
Mhm, yeah.
The one that's really interesting is the Rams Stadium, the LA Stadium. That's a very unique looking stadium. But I don't know. There must be, because that thing cost several $1 billion out there in Vegas, didn't it?
What?
Yeah. So just imagine
Wow.
so Jerry World cost $1 billion.
No, they're twice to 3 times that much now. Like the
Right.
LA one was like 2 or 3 billion. Vegas was even more than that.
So to put
Golly,
that into
man.
perspective, the spending bill that the Democrats are trying to push through, the 3.5 trillion, you can build 1,800 $2 billion stadiums.
They should. All for all the Pee Wee teams and everything.
You could
High
build
schools.
1,800 $2 billion stadiums for
You
that
just
money.
jumped right into that. I don't even want to talk about politics. I'm so
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to.
All right, you did it. You pulled the fucking thing off. So
No, we don't have to.
Pulled the Band-Aid off.
I think, but I do think it's ridiculous. Everything is more and more and more and more and more. Why does a stadium have to be $2 billion? It's ridiculous.
it's technology.
It's not just that. It's technology is part of it because they have to outdo one another.
They have to run Cat 5 everywhere.
Well, it's
coax.
you know it's it's the stadiums the way they're made now. They're forums for you got a lot of eating venues. There's the way they sit is very complex, and like the Cowboys,
Mhm.
you know, Jerry Jones. I don't want to say he's a genius, but
He knows how to make money.
he made the city of Arlington pay for that.
Right. I know. And how do they come up with that money?
Tax.
I know.
And
That's
they
what I'm
say
saying.
it's just a
How are they
penny.
okay with that?
It's just a penny tax on everything.
Forever.
Yeah, for the next 30 years.
Right. Yeah, whatever.
And so in return, he provides football games there and stuff and
Right.
free things.
Well, the city does get money back because you have all the hotels and all the taxes, all the revenue.
Oh, they're going to make tons of money.
So that's how they weigh. They're like, well, we're going to make our money back.
Right.
Just by
Because
the business.
Visitors come in, right?
Right.
You know,
And they spend money
spend money.
in Arlington.
I hear you.
So I'm wondering if they're doing that with all these multi-billion-dollar stadiums. Are they making the city pay for it, or
I don't think the LA one was like that because LA didn't have any team, if you remember, and I think that was a private firm who built the stadium in the hopes that the teams would move there, and of course, 2 teams moved there.
And in Vegas, a casino they raise $1 billion in a year.
Yeah, easy.
Hey,
Easy.
producer, you've got your mouse over a picture of Jerry Jones. Go down, select that. Is he groping that woman?
Of course he is.
Oh yeah, look at that. He sure is, isn't he?
Cowboys
It's a-
Jerry
yeah,
Jones
but it's a
says racy
misrepresentation.
photos of him are a misrepresentation.
I mean, the fact that he's got his left hand on her left breast and she's licking the air, she's got her tongue out.
How's
That's
that
a misrepresentation. No, it is, guys. You guys are not understanding.
Wow.
Help me understand.
He's got his left hand on her left breast, and she's licking the air like she's enjoying it. That's a misrepresentation.
Yeah. It's like there's some sort of phantom
what?
lollipop.
I don't know, of whatever you think it is.
That he's
That
fondling
picture's a
a nice
little
young
aged.
woman.
He's so full of shit. He got caught busted. He totally busted.
Oh, it's misrepresented. I was helping her up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, but she had time to make the little
Well,
with
no,
her
but
tongue.
she had just been eating ice cream and she was licking that off her lip.
And look at that. The eyebrows, her eyes closed. It's kind of like,
She's
oh
sticking her
my
butt in his
god, I'm
crotch.
going to make so much money on
Okay,
this photo.
okay. What? That's a total left turn because you spotted an inappropriate picture. Let's move on.
Oh, squirrel.
Squirrel. Total squirrel event.
He wanted to say Jerry Jones nude.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. What is this?
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay.
Stop the shaming of Jerry Jones. He's man. Look,
What is
there's
happening?
a photo of a woman
with her face
with
you
her face smashed
no,
up against his junk.
No. She stumbled, and he's steadying her. He's helping her up, and
he's
he just
holding her.
managed.
He's holding her head.
Well,
against
and he
his
just
crotch.
managed to accidentally push her face against his crotch.
And look at that look on his face. Like that's right.
He's like, "Yeah, baby, I'm worth $1 trillion. Go on,
Good to
do-"
be king.
Oh God.
It
Okay,
is.
can we move
This is
on?
between,
Yeah,
that's
right.
between him and his wife. I don't need to be involved in it.
That is his wife, isn't it?
Oh, was she
No.
5?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
believe so.
wow. 5. You couldn't go 18. Couldn't say 18.
17.
God. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, I'm pleased that that Dak. There's aspects of the Cowboys I don't care for, but I like Dak. I think
What
he seems,
other aspects?
I don't
Uh,
watch them.
I don't like the '90s Cowboys, and it's put a bad taste in my mouth.
What, the ones that won 5 Super
What,
Bowls?
like Michael Irvin,
It's
and
that
Emmett
gr-
Smith,
You didn't
and
like Troy Aikman?
Aikman.
I like
and
Troy Aikman.
Alvin
I think Troy
Harper.
Aikman's a class act.
I like Troy Aikman, but that whole scene,
Michael Irvin's a jackass.
where they were so entitled to everything, and
Well,
there's
they
new
were
stories
good.
out there. It doesn't matter.
You know what? He's mad. He's mad
About
because the
what?
Bengals sucked during that time.
No, they
Yeah,
sucked the entire
maybe.
time.
Yeah.
So
So I have a
doesn't
little
make me
story
mad
about
anymore.
Michael
People gotta
Irvin.
hate.
So I knew somebody that worked out in the same gym as Michael Irvin. And so they would be in the back room after working out, where they're all kind of just hanging out where the lockers are. And there was like,
Doing blow.
I guess there's spas or whatever. Or, I
He'd
don't
walk
know.
around with his junk hanging out.
He absolutely did. He would be laying there so proud of his junk. And he'd be laying there with his arms, up on the sides of the tub and his junk just hanging out. And boy, was he proud of that member.
Really.
And everybody that worked out there was just like, oh my God, that's Michael Irvin for you. Totally. Just, just look, hey, everybody, what's going on? Check out my junk.
So who was it? Troy, Emmett, Michael. It was Jay Novacek. All right, and then I'm not sure where Jay Novacek retired, and who took over tight
Well,
end.
he makes a fine bourbon now, doesn't he?
He 84.
That was Jason Witten took over for him, I believe.
Jason Witten took over Jay
Did he?
Novacek.
Yeah.
He played last year. Has he played again this year?
No.
Not for the Cowboys.
No, he's done.
He played last year.
Yeah, he did. I think he's done now.
Okay.
Well, he made the mistake of going into announcing. I don't think that went real well. Then he came back.
So he wasn't good at announcing,
I think he got a lot of criticism for it.
just not being good at it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really watch football,
Yeah.
so
Not like what's his name, who's freaking
Well, there's so
awesome
much.
at it.
Tony
I
Romo.
mean, there was.
Tony Romo, man, he's actually really, really
I
good.
enjoy listening to Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Romo's he's a fun guy. You
Yeah,
know,
he is.
In fact, he plays more basketball than he is football.
He's not
You know?
that tall either, at all. He
Six-
showed up at
6'8".
He showed up at a basketball game that I was at, and I was like, "Golly, it's funny how you always make these guys out to be something they're not." I mean, that's anything, right? That's like a movie star. That's like any sort of sports
He's
star.
6'2".
Yeah, but
That's not that
I can
tall.
promise you, there's no way he's 6'2".
They always.
I think he's
There's
6'1".
No way he's 6'2". I'd be surprised if he's barely 6 foot. I'm telling you, I saw him and I was like, okay, no way. Anyway, but I mean, cool guy, right? I mean,
Well,
but
what about the? Did you guys get an opportunity to see the Black Anthem, Black People Anthem?
I don't watch games until kickoff.
So that's a no.
That's a no.
I missed it as well.
Mr. Producer, see if you can pull up the. I don't even know what to call it. The Black People Anthem, the Black Anthem, the Negro Anthem. What do they call that?
I don't know.
I don't know. The American anthem, you mean?
The second
No.
the second American anthem?
No, they had the.
I know what you're saying.
Oh, stop messing with me then.
I know.
Let's see if you can pull it up.
We're shocked.
Oh, it was the Alicia Keys. It was Alicia Keys.
That was in 2020.
Oh, son of a bitch. See if you could
It's
pull
called
that
Lift Every Voice and Sing. I mean, do we want to sing it now?
Mm.
No, I would like for you guys to see the video of the compilation of folks singing that and how
Oh boy.
inspirational
Inspirational it was?
How
How-
diverse?
how diverse
How diverse
these
it
characters
was.
looked.
Okay.
So there's
And-
like
Transgender?
black people, white people, Asian singing.
no,
it?
there were only black.
Oh,
There were only black people singing that song.
So how diverse is that?
yeah.
I was talking about how they looked. I mean, they weren't wearing like all the same. You know, there's some people in choirs, they have all the same choir
Robe.
outfit on. You know, the same their uniform.
Oh, I
Everyone
see,
had
I
their
see.
own thing going on. You know.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
they had, one dude with a huge afro, and it was just it looked
So
like
it was diversity within a homogeneous.
oh dude, it looked like the Bill Cosby Fat Albert show, you know?
not to change subjects too race. He's working on another TV show.
Who? Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby.
Who's gonna let him do it?
They're talking in talks.
With who?
I don't know
What network?
Well, he was supposed to.
I
to
saw a
go
headline on it.
tour, and then they yanked the plug.
Unbelievable.
They said that they were afraid that he was going to say something that would condemn him.
He's a serial rapist.
Yeah.
Over 60 women.
No.
And he wants to do a TV show.
Well, we played that. Well, we played
Chocolate
that.
cake.
They played that audio where he talks about that
One
in
chocolate
his
cake for you?
in his stand-up. He'd talk about it.
I'm not David. I'm Jesus Christ.
Milford. That's in Ohio.
And you know what's sad about that? He was a damn funny
Man, I
stand-up.
enjoyed them. I enjoyed listening to his stand-up and everything. I mean, I really looked up to the guy. Younger.
But he's a serial rapist.
Well, you don't know that till later.
I guess.
know?
Unbelievable.
I still can't believe that he actually got out.
They let him free.
Technicality. I don't even know what the technicality
no,
was.
it wasn't even a technicality. It was like the judge was like,
No, it was
it's
a
Bill
technicality.
Cosby. Let's just let him loose.
No, there was a technicality. And so he wasn't. That seems to be one of the arguments. They were like,
It's
well,
insane.
they found him guilty, but they let him off on a technicality. So people are like, he's innocent. No, he's not innocent.
100% not.
He got off on a technicality.
So insane.
Totally not innocent.
Well, he probably won't live much longer, but somebody should off him.
Well, I don't. Yeah, whatever.
I'm kidding. I don't. I don't really
he
believe
has he had a lot to contribute to family life, and he had good morals. Look, if you didn't know,
What?
if you did not know that he was a serial rapist,
Other
didn't know
than
that-
being a serial rapist.
hey man, look,
He had good morals.
He was
he
the,
was
he was
very
the
moral.
cliche father, the cliche grandpa. He
on
wa-
TV.
I'm just saying, in general, before you knew any of this stuff was going on, everyone was kind of like,
God
"Well, I want to be
almighty.
like Bill."
That's right.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
right.
get it. I get
he
it.
was he wore the sweaters, and he was.
And the mom or the wife on the Cosby Show still stands by him,
well,
100%. Even though 60 women came forward,
I don't know.
totally stands by him.
But the one woman who said it didn't happen, that's the one that matters.
I don't know.
That discounts all the other 60.
what are you
apparently-
saying? One of them said what?
Well, no, she's standing by him, and sometimes depending on who the actor is, or the
Didn't Bill Cosby and his wife Spanish fly somebody together?
I think they were in tandem.
I never heard anything about the wife being involved.
I did.
I think
heard
she stood by. I think she stood by him, but I don't think she was ever implicated.
So I think she knew what was going on. Maybe that's
maybe,
what it was.
maybe.
I think there was a few incidences where she was
don't know.
participating.
I
don't know.
about that.
Like a three-way.
I think so.
No, she was the.
That's what they were
she was
insinuating.
the setup person, the groomer. Come hang out with my husband and I, and then drug the woman and then walk out.
Then we could scissor.
Mr. Producer, you're looking at me like you want
And
to
then
say something.
what? What? God, you and your scissor.
Did you
What?
say scissoring again?
Yes, he did.
That's
Lord,
Paul's
man.
favorite position.
Just like strontium,
Strontium.
whatever.
Oh.
All right, so let's talk about a very, very significant deal that happened this last weekend. The 20th anniversary
Oh
of
yeah, 9/11.
9/11. That's a big deal, guys. I didn't get
Why do
the
you think
sense.
it's a big deal?
Well, because I hung out with you guys on that Saturday night. Was it that Saturday night?
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't sound like you guys watched any of the name reading and the.
I watched a little bit of it, but
Okay.
I can only take so much of it.
Oh,
Not because
I-
it's just I can't watch a lot of it.
I,
And,
so I watched a lot of it, and my wife and I were reminiscing about that day and that night, and trying to remember what we could, like what were the kids doing, and what was that? I mean, we were just trying to
There just
we
comes
were
a
trying to
point
piece
where
together that day
you
or that
need
week,
to,
really.
You need to let some of that stuff go. I mean,
But you never forget. You can't
y-
forget.
Yeah, but again,
it's not about holding on to it. It's about remembering. Just
It's
like you
about
remember Pearl Harbor, right? It's
Yeah.
the same type of thing.
It's about showing respect for the people that went through that unbelievable horror.
Yeah.
And we watched
I
the shit
think,
out of it,
the-
it was emotional for me.
the best way, if they want a true memorial, it would be to to include what happened at 9/11 or what led to it in our history. So I think it's something they need to teach in class. Like Mr. Producer,
How do they not?
in high
Yeah, I was
school,
gonna
did they
say-
That
teach
was
what
the
happened in
most significant-
9/11?
That was seriously the most significant
on.
American event
Mr. Producer.
in the last 100, not
Not 100 years.
because World War II was there. But I mean, since
Well, you can't hear him with
Since
his
Vietnam.
mic, but they don't teach
Vietnam.
they don't teach that in high school right now.
it's insane.
They don't teach what happened on September 11th.
That's impossible.
Why not?
It's not in the curriculum.
Why not?
So is that true?
That's my point. Is that
Yeah, pipe in here, Mr.
the-
Producer.
I mean, okay.
You're a recent
I'm trying
graduate.
to think.
Tell
I'm
us what
trying
you
to
know.
think. In high school, there's not much talk about it. No, not at all. In high school,
It-
but in
it
middle,
should be-
in middle school. I remember. I can't remember if it was seventh.
It should be every damn grade. What are you talking about?
But-
I mean, it's just
Eighth
as
grade.
important as Pearl Harbor,
Absolutely.
I agree.
and they don't teach it, and that's
It killed as many people as Pearl
that's
Harbor.
my point. Is that they don't teach it. It's not a staple in
I don't
in the-
understand why.
the curriculum.
That is absolutely
That's why
Disgraceful.
we need to weed out whatever cancer is eating away at the direction they're trying to teach these kids.
It's
you know?
bad. It's really, really bad out there right now.
All right.
You know, the whole woke thing and these teachers that are teaching Antifa methods that are getting fired.
Yeah, the Antifa teacher. Do you hear about that?
yeah. The one that
Out in California, outside of
young,
Sacramento.
young kids, really young kids.
Yeah, he had a poster of Mao on his wall.
But he was like teaching the young kids how important it is to.
No, I think they were high schoolers
Oh, I'm thinking something
because
different
he would give them grades for going to a protest and then writing reflections
then.
on it.
Oh no!
So he would encourage them to go to protests and do their protesting, and then write a few pages on it. And,
Oh shit!
reflect their
No,
feelings.
No, I didn't hear anything about this.
Yeah, and it's this guy right here. This guy, he admits to teaching it. And he
A Californian high school teacher who openly supported the Antifa movement and incentivized his students to participate in some of his activism has been placed on administrative leave and will be fired, according to the district he works
Good.
for. Gabriel Gipe taught advanced placement government at Indercom High School in Sacramento, past of the Natomas United School District. Gipe became
Natomas.
Gipe became thrust into the local and national spotlight after Project Veritas, a conservative advocacy
Yep.
journalism group, recently published a video in which an undercover reporter spoke with a teacher about his views and approach to teaching.
And here it is, right here. I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries. He said. Wow! Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So look,
And look, it says up here, he has an Antifa flag on the wall
Yeah.
and a
Gay
a
pride.
gay pride flag on the wall. I wonder if he has an American flag on the wall.
I don't see one, Jeff.
I bet 0.
Sean, do you see one?
so I'm just, it's just, and
What-
this is a microcosm of probably hundreds and hundreds of circumstances that are out there that go, people don't even know.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think it's only prevalent in California and Oregon and Washington.
I don't know.
I think the rest of
I
the
don't
country probably doesn't deal with this shit.
I'm just thinking you don't
They're
know.
so freaking psycho woke out there, and Antifa
but they're
something.
everywhere. They're
Maybe you're right.
look anywhere you see a Democrat, there's an opportunity.
That's not fair.
No,
I
no.
don't think
Hold
that's
on,
true.
hold on. Let me finish. Anytime you see a Democrat,
Yeah.
there's also an opportunity for an Antifa
Right. Well,
because
I
they're
know.
all out there.
I know when
Yeah,
my
okay.
boys were in grade school, I believe 5th grade. I can't remember which son it was. The science teacher showed the inconvenient truth.
Gore.
And was talking about how man-made globing is bad and we're the fault of this and this and this.
Mhm.
And my boys would come home and ask me questions, and I was just like, well, and I asked, what aren't they giving you a different point of view and talking about science and this and that? I was like, no. So I actually went to the teacher, the partner teacher, because in
Really?
5th grade they split teachers.
Yes,
right?
they do.
So I went to the home teacher and I said, and I made my comments, and she agreed with me that there should be a counterpoint.
Right.
If she's going to show that and discuss this and push that point of view, that she shouldn't push her point of view, but also push or present both sides of the
Of
argument.
course. And let
Let the
What
kids.
was the response?
I didn't talk to the other teacher. I just talked to the main teacher that my son had.
Oh, so you're saying that the other teacher was the one responsible for
Correct.
showing the video?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. So I had I think it was just the timing. I had the parent-teacher conference shortly after that, so
Yeah.
it was fresh in my mind. And I
So
went
how
in there.
long were you at the city jail after that?
Well, no, well,
Were you overnight or just did they let you go right away?
yeah, I still have an ankle bracelet.
Look, the thing is,
Your
dudes like
ankle-
us,
Your ankle.
dudes like
your
us
monitor,
have kids.
Your ankle monitor.
You know, dudes like us have kids. We're sending them to school. We're trusting that the state is doing their job and teaching them the
Being
stuff they
honest
should
with
be.
them. I mean, being
And-
whatever, balanced. I don't
And
know what the word
But
is.
I'm telling you, call me a conspiracy theorist, but there is some sort of ugliness being woven into the curriculum
I believe
Yeah.
it.
that is changing the dynamics,
But you know what's
changing
funny? So-
our ways.
So I've got 3 boys. One just graduated college. One is now in his second year of college, right? But they went through high school, public high school. They never really said, they've always been very, very conservative minded, right? I mean, not because it wasn't like I crammed it down their throats at the dinner table or anything like
Right.
that.
Well,
But
my
but
intention.
I can promise you, they would have come to me and gone,
But
Dad, you're not going to believe.
I'm not saying
what
that they're
they're telling
teaching
us.
Antifa stuff, but what I'm saying is that they're not teaching real American history. They're
Right.
not teaching
Okay.
the appropriate things.
I got
You know,
you.
I'm not saying that they're saying that, praise the devil. I'm just saying
Right.
that, they need to teach 9/11. They need
Oh,
to teach
100%.
real things in life. They need right now it's not. They're glossing over all kinds of stuff. They're cherry picking.
Yeah.
And it just seems and I
They're
hate to-
rewriting history is what they're doing.
that's
Yep,
exactly
yep,
what
yep.
they're doing. Like like Donald Trump, they're rewriting. They're trying to make Donald Trump not exist.
Yeah.
You know?
Insane.
Yeah, there was another instance. I can't remember the specific but I think it was Stephen. He was a senior in school, and he goes, yeah, I can't remember what the movie was. We just watched this movie, and it was a bunch of. It may have been Inconvenient Truth again, his
Yeah.
senior year, and I was like, did they, show any counterpoint? I had the same questions, right? And he's like, no, we never had an opportunity
Right.
to see any other information.
Unbelievable. You brought up about the erasing Trump. So what I saw an article today. Do you know the Abraham Accords? This is where, for the first time, I don't know if it's in history, but you remember during Trump's, help me here, Trump's reign,
Administration.
During his administration, Israel made Yemen
Right.
and
They signed peace accords, right?
yeah, peace accords with Muslim nations. The Abraham Accords. It was a huge deal, and they say for any other president that would have been a shoo-in for the
Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize. Biden is telling his people not to use the word Abraham Accords, so they're using different words. They're using there's a
Lincoln Accords.
no, yeah, they just called it they called it something, but they will not refer to it as the Abraham Accords.
So they recognize this. So we, the undersigned, recognize the importance of the maintaining and strengthening of peace in the Middle East and around the world based on mutual understanding and coexistence, as well as being the respect for human dignity, freedom, including religious freedom. So that's what the Abraham Accords are saying. We encourage efforts to promote interfaith, interculture dialogue to advance a culture of peace among the three Abrahamic religions. Is that how you say it? Abrahamic religions in all of humanity. It's crazy.
I'm surprised you can actually find it on Google.
Yeah,
that Donald Trump was involved.
Here's what it is here.
Well, I've got it from the U.S. Department of the State Department right here.
Does it say it was authored by Trump administration?
Oh, it doesn't say anything about Trump. It just says we seek tolerance. It's
here it
basically
is.
what the Accords
Oh,
are.
what the Accord
It
is.
says it seems the administration won't even permit use of the name Abraham Accords. In April, State Department spokesman Ned Price went through the contortions as he tried not to use the term, instead calling them simply normalization agreements.
They're morons.
I'm telling you, it's insane. The hatred of Trump. I mean, everything he did, like, I'm not going to follow his plan for Afghanistan. I'm not going to do the southern border that was working, like the remain in Mexico.
It's like the complete opposite.
All these things were emotional
But
decisions.
he didn't have a plan to.
I know,
Trump didn't lay a plan out
For what? For
to-
Afghanistan?
at Afghanistan.
Absolutely did.
Yeah,
Trump
well,
absolutely had a plan for
He basically
for
said,
exiting.
"We will destroy you if you break any of these rules."
That's right. He said we will leave under the following conditions. And if you break these conditions, we're not leaving. They desperately wanted America to leave.
And the guy in charge,
But
he's-
Trump was like, we're leaving on our terms. And these are the terms. You kill any Americans, we're done here. If you one of them was, if you start to try to take the country by force, if like you do what he did in
I know where you live. That's
yeah,
what he said.
He
He says,
he-
"I have your address. I know where you live."
yeah, he was like, we're not leaving until the conditions that I lay out are met. He absolutely had a plan, and he was not going to leave until all the equipment was taken care of, all the people were gone, that Taliban was not
he
advancing.
definitely had a plan. I didn't mean to say that. I misspoke. But what I'm saying is they didn't use his plan at all.
No,
No.
and I
No.
think it was emotional. Everything was emotional. It was, Trump said, get rid of it. Oh, Trump, get rid of it.
And weren't they originally supposed to leave from Bagram? But some stupid reason they closed Bagram and says we're going to leave from Kabul airport now.
Yeah,
Why the hell did they do that?
yeah. Did you hear how they
And
closed?
now China took over Bagram.
Yeah, did you hear how they closed Bagram?
They just turned the lights out and left.
Overnight without even telling the Afghan army. So they left. The Americans
With
left.
a bunch of dogs on the
Yeah,
tarmac.
get this. They left, and local people went in because it was literally abandoned. There was no handoff from the American army to the Afghan army. So locals went in there and started grabbing stuff, and then the next day they had tables set up and they were selling shit. I'm not lying.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, I'm not lying. That's literally how it went down. And the Afghan army was like, "What the f?" And they scrambled to secure Bagram Air Base, and then they, started moving Afghan army people in there. They didn't even tell. They didn't even tell them.
It's a debacle.
Well,
And they're going over right now with that what's this dude's name?
Blinken.
Blinken. God, man.
What a freaking moron.
Well, he's being forced to admit some things.
Oh, yeah?
Reluctantly.
Was he one of those guys who was a professor at one point? I mean,
I don't know.
what are his credentials for chief of or Secretary of State?
I don't know. That guy right there.
It doesn't even matter. Blinken, he can say what he wants.
He's a diplomat.
Yeah.
He didn't have the authority to say anything. Yeah, it falls on his shoulders, but he didn't say that. He didn't tell him to do that. This is all behind the scenes stuff. I think this is what Biden
This is Biden's
communicated
team.
with China.
It's not even
And
Biden.
Biden's
It's
like-
Biden's team. Go ahead.
China wanted in there, and China said, "Hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We need these precious metals, and we don't give a fuck. We need you guys out, all right?
Yeah.
Because there's more than just precious metals. We need to get all this shit.
And Biden's like, okay.
Yeah, and in return, we won't release COVID-19 on you again.
Probably.
COVID 20.
Yep, they have it.
Yeah, that's going. I know Ted Cruz grilled him, and he got him to admit that they did release the names.
Yeah.
To the Taliban. He
Yeah.
said yes,
And
but
he's
he
trying
did
to
it
hold them to it.
begrudgingly.
And he's like, well, how many names did you give them? Did you give them 10? Give them 100?
All of them.
Give them 1,000?
And they have the
he wouldn't
biometric
answer.
technology to where they know exactly who they are and where they are.
Right.
I mean, they are pulling fathers out in front of their families and executing them.
Oh, how about the pregnant female policeman?
I didn't hear about that.
She was a policeman, pregnant, pulled her out of the house, verified who she was, shot her in front of her family. Pregnant. Yeah.
This is
But-
stuff that
but-
you
but
teach
But
in
they're
schools.
businesslike.
But this is Taliban 2.0.
But
They're
they're very businesslike.
yeah, they're not the same. They're different.
No,
They're better now.
they're doing. They're full of shit, is what they are.
Completely 100%, 1,000,000% full of shit.
So what's the end game? I mean, what are we going to do now?
I think Biden's just trying to cover his ass.
It's too late for that.
The end game is
Blame Trump.
well the end game is now going to be a terrorist haven
so here's
like it
what I would
was
propose.
like it was in the lead up to the September 11th
9/11.
attacks.
Right.
It's going to happen again, not September 11th, but something's going to happen again, and then they're going to have to go in again. And this time we're not going to go in like
I would
we're gonna
want
missile strike the shit out of them
China to take over.
for a long time
I'd want China to go in there and
be the third world power that loses.
Yes.
no, I'm saying they're not going to lose.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they will.
I don't believe so. I think China will
The
lay
Soviet
down.
Union lost.
The only way
China's-
the only way they'll win is if they go in there and just basically take over the country and
That's
say
what I'm
this is now
saying.
part of China.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what they'll have to do.
but they won't.
But they'll still have to deal with the Afghan people.
Or not. Maybe they'll just euthanize them.
Well, they could.
You can't. Well, I guess.
I
Well, they
mean,
do.
I
they
guess
are.
you could kill every single Afghan person, but it seems unlikely.
Well, they're doing it to the
I mean,
Muslims up north.
I know they are.
The Uyghurs or whatever they're. I think that's how you say it.
I don't know how to say
Muslims.
it.
I think
Yeah.
it's Uyghur.
Those are the ones that have been accused of slave labor.
Well, they're killing them too.
Well,
I think.
yeah, genocide.
Genocide, killing
Yeah.
hundreds and thousands of them.
Look at the Taliban. Look at the look on his face.
He's like, yes, right. I'm good.
Yeah. That's just
I win.
You know the crazy thing about this is that people that have $25 million bounties on their heads
Are now in charge.
are in charge. They're in plain sight. I'm like,
people that were
dude, that's like
that were buried
if that's
for a decade were coming out of the woodwork now.
Yeah, I mean, these are drone strikes like begging to happen.
You know, some of the stories I heard was like when the president of Afghanistan was leaving.
Yeah,
He was like he had millions and millions of dollars in cash.
Yeah.
And he was
he
like,
is denying that, but yes, that's the story.
well, they said they found cash on the tarmac or on the runway.
They couldn't fit all the cash they were trying to stuff into his helicopter.
Was it a helicopter?
It was a helicopter he left on. They tried to cram as much as they could in there, and stuff was falling out onto the ground, and then they left. That's the story. That's the story. And you know what?
Yeah.
Being Afghanistan, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's the most corrupt.
Oh yeah.
So
Man, it's so sad.
it is sad.
Because you know, my daughter has a friend, and she's a sweet person, and they're from Afghanistan, their whole family, and their whole family's just they're great people.
Yeah, they're great people.
And their mom, their family goes back, so they've been going back and forth for a while.
Yeah.
And it just
Heartbreaking.
it is because they're good people. And
Yeah,
those
they're
good
peaceful people that just
are-
want to live and raise their kids and to do their thing and go to their job and just live, and they can't.
They-
And
Really. He just blasted his ass.
I did.
yeah, I think we might have to pull the fire alarm here.
Well, no.
He smelled
So
like
is that an
bourbon.
early ender for this first podcast?
No, it's an early ender for this Afghanistan. Let's change the subject.
Yeah, we got
here,
to change
so-
the subject. It is sad.
Yeah,
All right,
it's,
so-
it's tough stuff. But you know what? That's kind of fun. Let's just like hit the chord of Biden's ignorance and stupidity. You know, his comment. You know, because we have some horrible things. You know, as far as the weather coming in from the south,
Oh, yeah.
and you know the hurricanes coming in, the rain coming down, houses being blown apart. But hey, let's prep. Let's prep. The most important thing you can do. The most important thing
Number
you can
one.
do. Number one is go get a COVID shot.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Go get vaccinated.
Go get a
Go
vaccine.
get your vaccination shot.
Yep.
As a part of hurricane preparedness. I thought it was a joke. I thought it
No.
was doctored.
What
real.
a
I thought there was
putz.
no way that could be real.
What a putz.
He's an idiot. I don't know, man. It's really heartbreaking.
And then you have
That this country is being
the
run
governor
by-
of California, the runoff, and
He won
That
by
he
a
won.
He
landslide,
won.
and all the celebrities and Hollywood people are like, oh, they're talking serious shit. They're like, oh yeah, oh,
See,
are you
it's a
gonna
mandate.
claim fraud in the election now? Oh, come on, I dare you, I dare you.
This is a mandate against Trump, even though Trump had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Joe Biden shows up and is like, you're voting for Trump, so he's a Trump. He's Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He's
all
Trump.
those Hollywood people like, okay, voted for Trump. Okay.
But what I don't get. I mean, you vote
Larry
for that.
Elders, that's his name.
Larry
Yeah.
Elder. They get what they vote for, so
I know.
they get to wallow in their misery.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, but
You
beautiful
vote for business
countryside
clothes.
is not enough for me to live there.
You
Well, that's
voted
why they're
for
leaving in
masks.
droves.
Yeah.
Businesses are leaving droves. People are leaving in droves. But you know what? I had this conversation with my wife last night. So here's the problem. The people who are leaving are the people that are selling their crazy expensive homes. Here's my point. The people who are leaving are the people who can.
Right.
They're selling their expensive homes. They're going to California. They're going to Colorado. No, they're going to Colorado and Texas, and they're taking advantage of all the wealth that they've accumulated from the real estate, right? And they're doing their thing. And guess what? Those people don't have a reason to hate California politics. They scored on California politics. They don't have a reason to hate. So they're bringing it with them. They're bringing it with them. But the people who aren't living in a home, I mean, they're renting, or they're, you know what I mean? The people that can't afford a home because it's ridiculous to afford, all those people, if those people are leaving, and it's not many of them because they can't, they're the ones that would vote Republican.
Well, I've heard that a lot of the Republicans are leaving. That's who's leaving.
I don't think so. Because look, Texas is changing. All these idiots from California are moving to Austin.
Yeah.
And they're changing Texas.
They are. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
So I'm not so sure about that.
It's impacting several states, Texas being one
and
of them.
Nevada.
Idaho being one, Colorado being one, and Nevada.
Nevada, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and they don't want them there
the
just
cancer,
as much as...
The cancer that is the liberalism of California is spreading.
I don't think it's necessary. Look, they're hitting us from every direction, and when I say from every direction, I'm talking internal. I mean, we talked about the school systems. The school systems are breeding
liberals.
The fact that the border issues of them allowing. You notice that we haven't heard any news about the border?
200,000 people in August.
Yeah, we haven't heard. I haven't watched much
Cross
news.
the border. 200,000.
Is it not being covered like it was?
No one's talking about it. No one.
Yeah, no one's really talking about it.
No one.
They're just quietly.
Maybe they did Afghanistan as a wag the dog. So
maybe.
Just distract over here so we don't have to see this mess over here.
Yeah, but it
Lewinsky
was so bad.
bombs, you know.
It was so bad.
So,
Afghanistan is going to be a stain.
So my point
decades.
is that this liberal thing, that it's coming from especially here in Texas, and we're talking, you know, our state's going to turn blue, and the reason why it's going to turn blue illegally. But I'm wondering, honestly, the folks that are coming up south, do you really think that they're going to appreciate the blue?
Yes.
They'll appreciate free things.
The vast majority are going to be on welfare. And Democrats are all about government handouts. So, yes, they will. And not necessarily because they like them. They have no choice. They need these free handouts.
So Washington Post says more than 200,000 migrants were encountered at the U.S.-Mexico border in July, the highest in roughly 2 decades, according to statistics released by the Customs and Border Protection. Customs and Border Patrol officials encountered 212,672 people.
In July. It's the same amount in August, by the way.
So if you do 200,000 a month.
A month.
It's 2.4 million people a year.
Yes. Guys, they're doing this, and then he's going to do amnesty. And then this is all about getting elected. This has nothing to do with anything other than getting and keeping power. I've been saying it over and over and over again. He's going to steamroll through a amnesty program for all of these people. And he's going to give them voting rights, and they're going to vote Democrat. And it's over from that point forward. This is a coup. This is a coup attempt.
Well, he's been shot down on some of his little mandates, and I think he's going to get shot down on his vaccine mandate.
With the businesses, 100.
The Supreme Court overturned his eviction moratorium.
Yeah, it did. Shocking.
So they overturned that.
What's the eviction moratorium?
Well, that's where the CDC said, well, you can't evict someone, right?
Yeah, the CDC has the authority to extend an eviction moratorium.
So
really?
Biden was like, yeah, this is now whatever law or order or whatever.
You know, interesting. You know, the CDC actually changed the definition of a vaccine.
I don't doubt it.
They removed the word immunity.
Oh, nice.
Because this does not give you immunity.
The original definition of the word vaccine had the word that, you know, you take a spiked protein and that'll allow you to
any
develop immunity.
Yeah, any vaccine you take gives you immunity.
Gives you immunity.
Well, it doesn't now, so they removed the word. Really?
That's right.
oh, fantastic.
So if you look at if you
change
ask
the
the
definition.
CDC definition, they took out the word immunity.
That's
They
awesome.
relabeled the whole thing.
Super
really-
cool.
So the vaccine right now, based on Google, says a substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or several
Wow,
diseases.
I'm amazed they haven't scrubbed that yet.
So, but what is CDC definition of vaccine?
Well, it says immunity right there, but
Well, hold on. Definition of terms: vaccine preparation that is used to stimulate bodies' immune response. Vaccines are administered through. Okay, so that has.
hold on. Click on COVID-19 mRNA vaccines work at that. Yeah, click on that. Now that's probably going to say it does not provide immunity.
New type of vaccine
Right. You're not
To
going to see immunity anywhere in that.
to protect against infectious disease.
Right. There we go.
My point is that it's slanted.
Completely.
I mean, it's never ending. And I'd love to hear the antithesis. I'd love to hear the return, the rebuttal. I want to hear what's going on.
Right.
And it's just like you said, man, it's a coup.
It is a coup. It's 100% a coup.
And it
And then the voting law stuff, it's a coup. Opening up the southern border, a coup. It's all a coup.
A coup, a coup.
A coup, a coup.
Yeah.
It's French.
Did you see the AOC thing where she went to
that
the Met
stupid
Gala
dress that she
looks
wore.
so hot in that
that
dress.
said tax the rich? And did you hear that the, one plate cost $35,000?
Oh, they're even the left was torching her on this one.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, well, it was donated to me."
Right. And then now they're like, then they were doing the ethical thing, like, like elected officials are not allowed to get
Right.
gifts or whatever.
Right.
So then they went that route. I mean, she's an idiot.
Well, she
Guys,
did
she's
claim
a
to own the
complete
dress.
and total idiot.
What was it? The rest the so we're talking about Alexandria Cortez with the dress that she wore that
the
says on the
Chick-fil-A
back
dress.
of it, the tax the rich.
The Chick-fil-A dress. It did look like Chick-fil-A font, didn't it?
Did you not see that?
No, I didn't.
So there
Says,
was a
"Eat more
picture.
chicken."
Yeah, there was a picture,
AOC tax the rich.
and then put Chick-fil-A.
That's funny. I didn't put the two together.
Yeah, there was a two dresses next to it. It said "Eat more chicken" and whatever.
That's funny. Yeah, well, she went to this thing, and one of the observations that I saw was all of the rich folk were maskless.
That is funny.
All of the that's funny. All of the help, all of the non-rich folks
servers and-
were all masked. All the rich people didn't need to be masked, but all
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't have to be.
but all, and they're like that's the same thing that happened at the Obama party, at the
Well, I mean,
Pelosi party.
Typically, servers, because those are businesses that what do they call them? People, God bless it, people that are providing the food, caterers.
Caterers.
The caterers are protecting themselves by wearing that.
You don't think that they said all of your people need to be wearing a mask?
Well, I mean, go to any
100%.
go to restaurants right now. Restaurants are still wearing masks. The servers are.
Not all of them.
I mean, I don't want to give them any credit, zero. But
No, I think it's a double standard.
it is a huge double standard. I'm just
silly.
I'm
She's such an idiot.
just living it up.
Yeah, she's living it up. She lives in the most expensive apartment in Washington D.C.
Yeah,
Drives a Tesla.
yeah. She living the dream.
Does whatever she wants.
And she's pretty. She really is.
I can't get past that.
And she speaks well. She's just stupid.
no, she does
She
not.
does not speak well.
She does not speak well. She sounds like a freaking moron.
No.
I
I've
mean,
heard
you
her
can
speak well.
understand her. She just doesn't.
Yeah, she sounds like an
She can
ignorant. She
enunciate.
sounds like an ignorant 10-year-old.
I like when she was talking with the ex-Border Patrol guy. and
Yeah.
She's trying to
Flirting
detail
with him.
on what's going on across the border, and saying how they're innocent when they're crossing over the borders. No, you need to cross through a port of entry, and no,
She was getting so frustrated. It was funny as shit.
kept slamming her.
And he was saying what he was.
Well, he was spouting off the law.
yeah,
he was
like,
disputing everything that she was
Everything
saying.
she said, and she was like, "What?"
yeah,
She has no idea.
She finally
Guys,
gave up. I think.
She was a bartender. A bartender with a pretty face, and they were like, "Oh, let's put her up against that 70-year-old white guy
Right.
and see what happens." I mean, she's woefully, woefully unqualified. Anyway, okay,
So going back to the Hurricanes,
Hurricanes.
we've had a pretty good season this
And
year.
heavy rains.
And what?
Oh, I'm sorry. After the hurricanes, there's like a bunch of tropical storms that are coming through right now.
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
Well,
we're
Drop
one
like
already went
8
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches down on New Orleans, on top of everything else.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
there's a
know.
bunch that are hitting right now, and I looked this morning and took some notes here. It said the insurance cost was the largest insurance cost was in 2017 was $295 billion
Damn. Which one was that one?
for the year. Well, that was the year we had Harvey here in Houston, right?
Oh, the 50 inches in 3 days.
Yeah, and that was 125 billion of the 295 alone. But you had
Of that year.
Of that
Okay,
year,
I
so
got you.
you
What was
still-
the other one?
well, there's like 15 other storms
Oh,
and
I got
hurricanes,
you.
right?
Okay,
That,
okay.
that accumulated to it. They said that that was Harvey, so that was 300,000 buildings got destroyed, 500,000 cars, 500,000 cars,
500,000 cars.
and 108 people died.
Wow, I'm surprised not more in Houston.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Well, I know we were looking at getting a used car for it must have been Brandon. And during the research I was doing there said you need to be careful
Be very
because
careful.
because all of those flooded out Houston cars are now working their way up to try to get sold,
Right.
and they've been flooded out, and they've been
Yeah, a lot of the
flood damaged and everything.
They
You have to look for that.
and what they do is they will sell those cars been exposed to salt water too, because the ocean comes in,
yeah.
rises up, salt water gets all into those chassis and damages the cars. It just plain old water damages the cars,
Right.
and they try to wrap them up, clean them up, and resell them, and
Oh, they can make it look brand new.
yeah, but it's ugly, man. So
Yeah, it can be a very dishonest industry.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
But I've up here in the Dallas area,
lots of money, man.
we
Oh, of course.
it is. We
Especially now with the
experience-
chip shortage.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's hell, you know what? That might be the perfect way to.
Well, they're saying used cars are 50% higher than like before COVID.
I think we must have purchased at the right time then.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I don't know.
But
That's what
you
they're
know, I heard a new story where they said that they don't expect the new car industry to improve through next year.
Because of the chip shortage.
Yeah, they
I'm
said
sorry, I'm yawning. God, what's wrong with me?
Are we boring you?
Yeah.
Well, totally boring me.
So
bitch?
here's my outtake on this, or my thought personally is I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Long story short, now back to you. No, what I'm saying, I do care because we need new cars and stuff. We need new everything. We need, you know
Right.
what I need? I need a new Xbox.
Oh.
Okay, I need the
Yeah, there's-
Xbox.
those are
I need the new
shortage.
Xboxes to come out. I went over
Does
to
that have a chip in it?
yes. So
It's got
the
15.
the thing is but when you say it's only going to be a year, to me I'm kind of like, all right, well I can wait a year to get another car. You know.
No, it's impacted everything.
Yeah, true.
But not
But-
an Xbox. You can't wait a year to get an Xbox.
Exactly. I'm kind of
There's
like,
no way. You'll
Well,
fall
your
apart.
Xbox works now, doesn't it?
it works, Jeff. But
Oh yeah, but it's
Oh,
not
you-
the new one.
Jeff, that's so insulting. Do you have any idea what he's going through right
How
now?
dare you?
I know it. God, I feel so
It's
bad
not
for
4K.
you. Are
That's
you
your
kidding?
TV?
It's not 4K. I have the
it-
Xbox One original. I
Is it
think.
3K?
Downstairs I have the original one.
Is
I
it
bought.
blurry?
Hey, producer,
It's
what
blurry.
Xbox do you have?
Is it only in 3 colors?
I bought
ASCII code.
so I bought a bunch of
Ping pong.
Xbox. I bought a bunch of Xboxes for the house, but I kept mine. So they have the Xbox One. I guess it's the One S.
What do you mean you bought a bunch of Xboxes for the house?
Well, I mean, I got one for Austin, one for Emily.
Holy
and-
shit, they're like 500 apiece.
Oh, not anymore. I mean, whatever.
Not anymore, but at the time they were.
Whatever. So they I
Sean's
still,
now computing. Oh, I spent like $4,000 on Xbox.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know. I'm
Like,
like,
who
my
can do
wife's
that?
gonna hear this. Oh my god! Did I just say that out loud? You stupid.
She's not an idiot. She walks around going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's not a moron.
But so I have like the original down there. I need to get. I don't want to say I want to get rid of it because I don't. I love playing video games.
Yes, you do.
I really enjoy it. It's
Like
it's,
all those other children.
What?
What? I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I'm just thinking to myself. I should have told Jeff to take out the chicken legs.
I can still
That's
put
been
them in.
dominating your thoughts for the
Boil
last
them
hour.
for half an hour.
No, it
and
just
they're ready.
dominated my thought for the last second when my stomach was like, "Hey, dude, I'm hungry."
Yeah.
Well, they're-
Whatever. So the Xbox.
Well, we have a break coming up.
So it's well. So when Jeff was saying it's going to take another year for these new cars to come out, and I'm thinking, well, that's palatable. I can handle that.
Yeah.
But it's
then
just a
you're-
year.
But then you're thinking, what are the other things in my life? Like you just bought a new computer. You
Yeah.
won't need one for a while.
I won't. And I'm happy with the computer I bought right now.
Yeah, so wait a second. The chip shortage has been going on for quite a while. There should be no computers even available. Right?
No,
It's been over a year since they've been out of chips.
It's taking extreme amount. Like a new order that I placed today
Okay.
will ship in February.
Right.
It's not like I place an order, they ship it tomorrow.
Right, of course.
It's taking 5 months.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. And yet you go to Costco,
Well, they're still
you go to
making
Best
cars.
Buy. There's a million laptops.
There's a shortage. There's not a complete
Okay, so it's not as
Nothing.
many as previously available.
correct. They're
But still, you want a computer, you get a computer. If you want an Xbox, you can go buy an Xbox.
they're just hard to find.
Are they?
You
Okay.
can get a new car, but you're going to have to get what's on the lot, or you're going to have to order it and wait for it to come in.
Right. I got you.
Right, and that's what a lot of people are doing is they're calling the dealerships asking, "What do you have on order coming in?"
Right.
Right?
What's that noise?
I'll take that. I don't know, but I'll take one.
That was a weird noise.
But yeah, like we just placed a big PO, and like I said, February before we're going to get it. Oh, gee, thanks for that one. The seltzer. I'll
Gotcha,
take
buddy.
that one.
Okay,
Hold
just
on.
for our viewers or for our listeners.
It's a Frio Light.
Yeah.
No, it's a
so
seltzer.
we're still bleeding down my Frio Light stash.
You are.
Well, yeah, I am because they are literally refusing. I'm giving them a free beer. Oh, don't give me that shit.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm the one that's having to drink the Frios because they won't.
Well, it's like, hey, you
We
want
like
back-
the seltzers.
Not a seltzer. By the way, have you seen the Bud Light commercial where?
They take their finger and they cover up the Bud Light.
Oh yeah, well it's a former NFL
Football
guy.
player.
Yeah, and he's running around trying to cover up the Bud Light. That's actually I laughed out loud
I
on
didn't
that
see
one.
that one.
Yeah,
It's funny.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah, he runs around everywhere he can covering up the Bud Light because people are confused. They think it's a beer.
What is this? It's the Bud Light. Oh, it's a seltzer. Okay, yeah, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, so instead of fixing their labeling, which has been a disaster,
Right.
they're making fun of it by having this guy run around.
Well,
And-
the,
yeah,
the,
it's
the
funny.
whole industry is a disaster, and I don't mean that. What I mean by that is that
It's flooded.
they're
There's too much.
they're having to move around so much. It's so diluted. It's so diverse, and there are so many options out there
Yeah,
that it's just it's
it's-
absolutely ridiculous.
it's too much.
And really, if they really want to get their shit straight, they really need to start hammering out some fantastic commercials
Like the
if they want to sell their
they
shit.
don't. They
like the good old days. What happened to the badass funny
Bud
beer
Light,
commercials?
Sure,
Right.
Come on,
Like,
but-
I
Where's
mean,
the beef?
that's
was that a beer commercial?
that's a Wendy's commercial.
Well, you still remember it though, right?
Yeah,
And
where's
who it
the
was
beef?
for. And that was the frickin' 80s.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
Sounds
why?
fun, though.
Why? That's interesting. The beer industry was always known for its funny commercials. What
Well,
happened?
I mean, it was
I
a
don't
Super
know.
Bowl extravaganza. We talked about this before.
I
It's just like,
know.
that used to be the thing. The commercials. Let's talk about the Doritos. The everything. The
Right?
Fritos.
Yeah, yeah.
and-
So this is a different ad I haven't seen. He's showing one where it pixelates the Bud Light. Let's see if it's funny.
We're proud of the Bud Light name, but it's making people think there's beer in our great tasting seltzer, so we're gonna try covering up the logo.
Oh, it's hard seltzer.
Oh.
What is that?
Bud Light Seltzer. No beer, just great taste.
All right, so it was an attempt to cover it up, just so that to draw attention to the seltzer and away from the Bud Light, because,
Well, and it pixelated the guy, and he started to get worried.
well, you know.
That
Well,
was
I tell you,
Stupid.
truly,
supposed to be the funny part of it.
Some
It
of the
wasn't really that
funniest
funny.
Bud Light commercials were in my opinion, were the real men of genius.
Well, you're good at mimicking them.
You know who sings that?
Survivor, right?
Yeah, the lead singer of Survivor, Jeff. As you've told us
didn't know
a
you knew
million
that.
times.
But the thing is that they put out a tremendous. They probably put 50 commercials out, maybe more, of the real men of genius. But
it was
of-
funny.
They
It
they
was
were
good.
like audio. So there were a bunch of them that were not a video. They
Right.
didn't make it to TV, but they made it on the radio.
Radio,
and,
yeah.
and broadcast from that perspective. And they are so fucking funny, man.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
the one that was like the farting one. There was one where
Farting.
this guy gets into an elevator and has the broccoli omelet for breakfast, and and they're in the elevator. It's like, not only are you in the elevator trying to get down to the first floor, but it's like a 34 plummet into the bowels of hell. You know, he's just real man of genius.
How is that genius?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They were so
So
funny.
here's
though.
to you, oh, Ninja the Nasty.
Have you guys ever played elevator roulette?
What?
What?
Elevator roulette. That's where you just like fart a nasty one when you're the only one on there, and you try to get off without someone getting on. It's called
No.
elevator roulette.
No, I haven't done that.
Because if they come in when you're there, they know it's going to be you.
Then you're caught.
Right.
Right.
But the side effect is you exit and you know the next person walking on is just going to gag on it.
And then the person after that's going to be like, "You dick." No, I got on. It was already like this.
Well, that's when you need to pull the shirt up over your nose, being like, "It wasn't me,"
Well, then do that when you let it out too.
Right.
and then you are the real man of genius.
That's right. Elevator roulette.
Oh, that's funny. I remember being the little dickhead kid that pushed every single button. And then
Yeah,
got
you were a
off,
dickhead.
got off the.
As
And
a
these,
kid, that seems funny, but as an adult, you're just like, fuck.
oh yeah, no, not funny at all. And these were the ones that all you had to do was brush it.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So you could literally take your finger and go, and like all of them.
I'd get off. If
Oh
I
no,
was-
that's what we did. We went, and then we got off.
you just.
But
you
no,
hit all, so it ties all of them up.
But nobody was on the elevator at the time. But the next person that gets on is like, oh shit.
I'd get right back off.
Of course, that's
I'd
what
take the
anybody would
stairs.
do. Anyway, that's my American brat story in Singapore, in the Mandarin.
And they're like, "This is stupid Americans did that."
Yeah,
with that.
stupid American kid. I guarantee
These
it.
White boys.
Yeah.
Now you know what this bourbon has got me quite toasty.
The
Which
Rebel
one?
Yell.
The Rebel Yell.
Yeah. Well,
Does our Rebel Yell actually say yell on it?
no, this is the newer one. So
Bastard.
the producer
It did
brought,
at one point though, right? They
Yes,
did
it did.
remove it.
It was racist.
big
Oh,
deal.
be
Well, it was
quiet.
woke. It was woke.
No, they're
because
woke now.
They're insinuating that
Correct.
it was from the rebel yell from where the rebel yell. They got,
Yeah, they
are
were
they
the
giving
Southern.
Billy Idol a hard time?
What?
Are they giving Billy Idol a hard time?
Well, he's British.
And the Rebel Yell is right, mo.
Yeah. So what is the story behind that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What makes it so bad?
I don't know.
It's the. You know what? I'll tell you what. I said this earlier, and you guys may not have understood what the fuck I was talking about. But AT&T
AT&T.
contributed a large amount of money to governor of California to help
Oh, Newsom.
Really?
maintain his authority there.
Well, I will be happy to tell you, I just canceled AT&T and went to Spectrum. F
And you have-
them and the horse they rode in
And
on.
you have blazing speeds now.
It's over 100 megabits per second,
Yeah.
and
I
it was 45 at best with AT&T.
need to upgrade mine.
And I
Yeah.
was spending 85 bucks a month, and they were charging me for overages. I had no idea.
Really?
So my
Wow.
kids were going over. Yeah, like
Oh, sure.
So
have you ever heard of that?
currently-
Who
well,
has?
we have
who
unlimited.
doesn't have
and we're supposed to be
unlimited?
a gig up and a gig down, but it's all pending on the community. So it's
on Spectrum?
AT&T.
You need to get rid of that.
Oh,
I dumped mine.
I'm dumping mine.
Completely
I'm
dumped
dumping
mine.
it. Yeah.
So happy to dump it.
I've had Spectrum. It used to be called Time Warner. Then Spectrum bought that arm of Time Warner, I guess.
Yeah.
And I
And
may
now it's
sound
called
like a piece of
Spectrum.
shit for being one. I'm probably one of these woke people, like doing the exact thing that we're frowning on
What's that?
What's that?
by standing behind these. But I'm an American. If I don't like what AT&T stands for at this point, if they're going to step into politics and get in the realm and start supporting Democrats or
They-
Republicans or
how-
whatever they want,
How does that make you woke? It doesn't make you
Yeah.
woke.
well,
That makes you stand up for your individual freedom and choice.
well, that's what the woke people feel that they're doing.
No, they're
No, they're
woke for someone
canceling.
else.
No, the woke people are canceling whoever doesn't agree with them. You're not canceling who doesn't agree with you. You're simply canceling your service because you don't agree. You don't believe that your service provider should be spewing that shit.
They also own CNN.
Oh wow, shocker! How is CNN still around? Their ratings are so bad.
I don't know.
They're literally so bad.
And you saw the little video I
Deep
sent you
pockets.
with Brian Stelter and the founder of the Weather
Oh, it
Channel.
was fantastic.
That
So
was
good.
great.
I can't believe he stayed quiet. He got his
Yeah.
ass torn up.
I
He
give him
did.
credit for that, but
He says, I am the founder of the Weather Channel.
All right, so give the
I am
background.
one of the.
Give the background. So the founder of the Weather Channel comes on and is debating Brian's Seltzer.
He's talking about
I don't
the
even think it got that far. I think the guy just
legitimacy of
global warming.
the global warming thing, and Brian Seltzer was like, well, the consensus, and he's like, let me stop you there. Okay, global warming isn't about consensus. It isn't about your little polls that you take.
Right,
It's about facts.
right.
There is no global warming.
And then he went on to say that there was a huge number of censored scientists that are totally against this
Correct.
concept of global warming.
Yeah, and he's like, there's like 30,000 scientists who are signing this paper to back the science that global warming does not exist.
This is the
And Brian
founder
Seltzer-
of the Weather Channel.
Brian Seltzer was like, well, there's also that say they are. It's like, yeah, but who's paying them?
Yeah,
Right. Follow
Is
the
that-
money. He basically said, follow the
Yeah,
money.
he was like, who's paying them to say that?
That's right. Because the government, he said, the government is giving out grants for scientists to prove that global warming is really happening. And
in order to get that money.
in order to get that money, you basically have to say there's global warming.
Right.
That's basically what
So
the
they're
guy
basically saying the global warming could be happening from here. Yeah, it was. How old was that video?
said. That's a good question.
I think it was new because Stelter. I don't know. Is Stelter? He looked thinner in that video.
Look up Brian Stelter and Weather Channel co-founder
Yeah,
or founder.
but he looked much thinner in that.
He did. So
I
I
don't
thought
know-
it was several years older.
So I don't. Yeah, I don't know whether either he just lost weight recently or it was an older one.
There it is.
There's the guy right there.
What
yeah.
year is that? Can you figure out what year it is?
I want to hear it too.
2014.
Oh, okay, so it's 7 years ago.
All right, well, let's hear a little bit of it because this is genius.
It's great. It's like, why the hell is this not like?
There it is, right there. Click on that one.
All right,
I
let's see.
resent you
Here we go.
calling me a denier. That is a word meant to put me down. I'm a skeptic about climate change, and I want to make it darn clear Mr. Kenny's not a scientist. I am. He's the CEO of the Weather Channel now. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, not the co-founder.
And I'm glad you did because I am addicted to the Weather Channel. I watch a
I'm
lot of
talking
cable news.
now. Hold on just
Well-
a minute. I'm not done. And CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well, there is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote. Science is about facts. And if you get down to the hard, cold facts, there's no question about it. Climate change is not happening. There is no significant man-made global warming now. There hasn't been any in the past, and there's no reason to expect any in the future. There's a whole lot of baloney, and yes, it has become a big political point of the Democratic Party and part of their platform, and I regret it's become political instead of scientific, but the science is on my side.
I don't think we're going to come to a conclusion about the topic right
can't
here.
believe he let him
what I
talk
do
the
wonder,
whole
I know
though, is
we're
when
not,
you
because
Well, I
see
you
think
wouldn't
that
allow
he
it to
stops
happen
him.
on CNN.
Brian,
But I'm happy
Well,
that I got on the
we've
air
been
and got a
talking here for
chance to
several
talk
minutes.
to
Keep
your,
shutting Brian
to your
down.
viewers. Hello, everybody.
what
there
I do
is no global warming.
What I do wonder is when you see
Look
the
at 'em.
government, when you
He's
see
like,
NASA, when you see other
"Motherfucker."
institutions say that 97% of climate scientists agree, do you think
Try
they're
not to
making
curse.
it up? What I don't understand is how you
Well, that's a
square
manipulated
that.
figure, and let me explain it to you. The government puts out about $2.5 billion directly for climate research every year. It only gives that money to scientists who will produce scientific results that support the global warming hypothesis of the Democrat Party position. So they don't have any choice. If you're going to get the money, you got to support their position. Therefore, 97% of the scientific reports published support global warming. Why? Because those are the ones the government pays for, and that's where the money is. It's real simple, but that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't make it true. That only makes it bought and paid for. The money goes in circles.
I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to try to refute you
Boy,
on
that's
the
the
facts.
truth.
I'll simply
so
say that the
Please
vast
stand
majority
back.
That's the truth.
That is
Issue.
true.
Yeah,
Unless-
short, bald.
Yes.
I
Stupid idiot.
I think one reason why Stelter let him talk is this was probably early in his career before he got the. You guys,
I'm sorry. I'm starting to feel the.
you said bald.
I did. So the founder of the
can't
Weather
believe you
Channel
said
just
bald.
goes off on Weather Channel owns and destroys CNN. So John Coleman, the founder of the Weather Channel, is I enjoyed that. And on that note,
Yes. We'll end on that note with Brian Stelter and his baldness.
Yeah, that was a low blow there, Sean.
Jeez.
To call the poor guy
hey, you know what?
bald. Wow.
I am going bald too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God knows you're no scientist.
No. There's
All
a
right.
lot of science going on here, but
I'm not sure.
it's more chemistry.
Some minoxidil.
Hi, welcome to the
By the way, guys,
first edition of
this is Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean,
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
and we're taking a break. We're gonna unbooze.
Yeah, we're gonna try to figure out what the hell's going on.